Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? Long time no talk. It has been quite the interesting journey, and that's pretty much all I can really describe it as is a journey. And I'm going to make this an entirely different segment category of topics. I know just in general, this channel has just kind of been like a hodgepodge of things, but this is like some next level shit. And I just want to go ahead and put that disclaimer out here that while my topics have never really been one that is very widely relatable to, the large majority of the world, this is even more kind of exclusive. So I'm just going to put the disclaimer out here of it's definitely a if you know, you know kind of thing. I'm not really here. I'm not here for everybody. And these messages really aren't for everybody. It's meant for whoever's meant to get them. And that's just how it works. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody or for anybody other than source. That's it. I let everybody have their own free will and opinions. That's just it. So anyways, now that is out in the open, understand once again, this is kind of like some next level shit. It's like kind of we're definitely jumping into the rabbit hole, as you would say, on this particular topic on my page, on this channel. So if you have found yourself into the ethereal source part of my channel, then strap in, because it's definitely going to be a wild ride. So know that, and let's go ahead and just hop on into it. So the first part Alright, so the first things first, I'm super ADD, so not just that I am live streaming from source. I'm directly connected to source, whatever you guys call it on yourselves. I call it source, universe, God, whatever. I'm directly connected to source, and so thus the name ethereal source. We coming to you live straight from source right now. And with that being the case, I get a lot of messages at once, and you don't tell source no. You know what I'm saying? You don't say no to God. You don't say no to the universe, regardless how much Virgo pre-planning I have had in my episodes of how I wanted the episode to go prior to starting to record anything. Sometimes we just kind of take 12 left turns, and travel through a corn maze before we get back on the interstate of the planned topics at hand. So I know it's a lot for me, and I'm the one that's like living it. So I'm sure for you guys as the listeners, you're gonna be like, what is happening? I told you guys it's a lot, and really strap in, because it is definitely going to take some twists and turns throughout the maybe hour 45 minute long episode that this is probably going to be. So please just bear with me. Please be patient with me. It's also Mercury retrograde right now. We're just coming out of the new moon hybrid eclipse. Energy is chaotic and swirling. Spiritual attacks are a thing. So please just be patient with me. Also, my dogs are in the background choking and like playing around. So again, I'm sorry. I'm going to try my best to navigate this as smoothly as possible. But again, sorry for the interruptions and all the things. But diving into I'll call we'll just call it the void here. Jumping into the void, the rabbit hole of the unknown, kind of opening up the Pandora's box of topics is where I've been. And that's the question that, kind of like that song, I guess you wonder where I've been. and like I've been grinding hard, for real. And it's been rough. And I'm just I'm the type of person that if shit's off with me, because my first language is energy. Again, if you know, you know, but my first language is energy. And that being the case, I find it very hypocritical to produce anything or go out around people or interact with people, even just online, or from a distance or over air, like this. I find it, I don't know, hypocritical and difficult for me to do, because I hate when people do it to me, like I'm very much if your energy is off, like if you're in grimy ass energy mode, I would very much prefer that you just shoot me a text and be like, hey, I'm going through it right now. I hit you back when I can get my energy right, or whatever, so that's always been my motive. That's how I wish the world. I don't know what just happened, but again, Mercury retrograde, but like that's how I wish the world would operate. So I try very diligently to not be around people, not put myself out into the world when my energy is off and I'm not at my best. I'm not feeling my best. I don't feel that I can present myself in the positive energy and manner that I would like to. So that's the biggest part of why I've been very much kind of MIA. But another part in it is that there's been a lot going on energetically. There's been a lot going on spiritually, and there's been a lot going on with me with my health. If you're familiar with my channel, if you're familiar with my podcast at all, then you already know my health story, my health battle. It has been, I'm at 16 years now. V squad, 7. I am at 16 years in this battle for my life, in this battle with my health, in this spiritual warfare, and all the things. 144 on the timer. And it has not been an easy feat, but I don't ever sign up for the easy missions. I've done a lot of missions in my really long 250 years of lifetime that I can recall, and I don't recall ever taking kind of like the glacial just kind of coasting down the stream easy path or easy missions, not once. So I didn't come into this life expecting anything to be a cakewalk, but I would be lying if I said that I have not been kind of, I don't want to say blindsided, because I am very much always in the future. Again, if you know, you know. But so it's not that not to say that I'm blindsided by this, the way, the twists and turns that this particular lifetime has been, and in a sense of its challenges that have presented themselves to me, or arised along this path, this journey, in my 30 years thus far. However, shit's definitely gone left. Shit's definitely gone left, really. In multiple avenues. You still get to the destination, but you kind of had to like reroute multiple times, and it's like, instead of taking the interstate, we took all the back roads through the gravel, and forged and even paved the new highway where there was none in the process. And that's like where I'm at right now at this current moment, on this time, on April 23rd of 2023. I've laid the gravel, and now I'm at the point where like I'm having to get the bushwhacker out, right, and start kind of weed whacking through the uncharted forests and shrubbery that has not yet been touched. Forging this new path, the new super highway, creating a new bridge. It's like it's like creating a bridge and a new like super highway all at once. Do you know what I'm saying? Is really what it's like. It's it's very much like I don't know. It's very much like being in this engineering position, but you're also the project manager, but you're also the manager, and you're also like the scientist and the communications department, and also the health department, and also the legal team, like all at once. While you're also like dodging grenades and constant attacks at the same time. And the only thing that you consciously signed up for was to go on the journey to build the highway. You know what I'm saying? Like I signed up for that part, and then all the other things fell into my lap. Because everybody else like kind of fucked it up, for lack of better words, really. I'ma always keep it $100 with y'all. whether you like it or not, you ain't got to believe it. I'm not here to convince anybody. Honestly, I've let that ship sail and sink multiple times at this point. So, take it or leave it. But really, that's what I consciously signed up for. But regardless, here we are, So that being the case, I have been through some shit. More so than usual. I would say over the last maybe 10, 20 weeks, maybe. But over the last 7 years, things just have progressively... You think you reach rock bottom, and then you realize, like, oh, here's the Challenger Deep, and then here's the Mariana Trench, and then here's the Mariana Trench's cousin that goes even further, and then it just never stops. So what I'm finding to be very true is that rock bottom is absolutely like an ultimate abyss. Like it's bottomless at this point. But I also have found, while continually sinking into this bottomless abyss, is that it is in fact bottomless because it just kind of dumps itself back out into the others. And again, if you know, you know. But I have been dealing with not just the physical health issues, but I have been questioning my not sanity, but my reality for a really, really long time, because of the fact of, like, it's just so unreal. Honestly, I wake up multiple times and I'm like, this shit can't be real, like this ain't real. Like I want it to be that I just absolutely am what they have made me out to be, and it just be like, oh, she's just some nutcase, like she doesn't know what she's talking about. Oh, she's just crazy, she's going through like a lapse in her judgment. She's going through psychosis, she's like, oh, she's off a rocker. She needs to be institutionalized. Guys, I would love for that to have been the case. Hey y'all, what's up? So today on this one, I just wanted to kind of talk about kind of a hodgepodge of things, but the main topic being what happens when you change, when you grow, when you elevate, when you awaken, when you're evolving, when you go through this kind of like spiritual level up and things of this nature. A lot of times people are kind of used to you being one set way. People are, especially people who are used to being around you, family, friends that you grew up with, grew up around, whatever the case may be. They have a really difficult time when you change, when you grow, when you elevate, especially if they have like chosen to not, because it kind of creates a little bit of friction, a little bit of resistance, kind kind of some conflict within the energy between you guys' dynamic, like from that point onward, because you guys are not on the same like wavelength. You're not on the same frequency. Does that make sense? Like, shit has inevitably changed between the dynamic of you and the people that you used to resonate with, or that you used to get along with, or that used to know you, or an old version of you. And so I just feel like this is something that I should kind of put the PSA out on for others, because really, like, nobody told me, no one told me. So I just ended up going through all this stuff and was kind of like, okay. So this is what we're doing now, and it really kind of blindsided me. Like it caught me off guard, with the sudden shift in how people reacted towards me, whether good or bad. When I started changing, when I started growing and elevating, and most certainly when I started putting boundaries. When I started putting boundaries out, when I say it was an issue, like it was an issue. And it's going to be an issue. So again, I just feel like I should tell you guys and put the PSA out so that you too are not ultimately very blindsided and caught off guard by kind of the negative the negative ripple effect that comes along with your awakening, with your leveling up, with you setting boundaries and putting yourself first. Like if you were a people pleaser before, and then you started being like, hey, no, listen, so I'm no longer doing X, Y, and Z, or like 24/7 access to me has been revoked. I always like to use the example of essentially if you're the only a gas station that was giving away mad cheap gas or gas for free, right, in like a small town community, and then you immediately start you all of a sudden start charging for your gas, and all the townspeople that were used to getting your gas for free pull up to get gas, and then find out now it's like $3 a gallon. Obviously they're going to be upset, right? Like they're pissed. They're pissed off. Like, what do you mean I got to pay for this shit now? Like it wasn't, I never had to pay for it before. These are the types of kind of reactions you're going to start getting from people. So the example of that was for me to kind of paint the picture for you guys on how people are going to react when you sorry guys, I got a call, so it interrupted my thing, but but this is kind of like the reactions that you're going to get when you start setting boundaries with people that you didn't used to have boundaries with, when you start, taking your power back, when you start saying no, when you never used to say no to things of this nature. Like, ultimately shit hits the fan, and you become, kind of like overnight the world's most hated person, simply because you are just like, hey, yeah, so I actually am no longer overextending myself or my energy. You know what I'm saying? Or like I'm just focusing on myself, from this point forward. Like I gotta get
me, right? I have to focus on me. I got to get my shit together. I'm out here on desert mode. Meanwhile, I've been filling you guys' cup up, overflowing, and you guys are drinking and thoroughly hydrated, and I've been over here on cactus desert mode. It's a problem, and I don't know, I feel like it should not be, yet it is, at least in my experience. And again, I'll always say, take what resonates, don't make the shoe fit if it doesn't fit. And not everybody's experience is going to be the same as mine. I just am telling my experience with all this. I said that I would always be transparent in my journey, and what the things that I'm going through along this whole process. So again, if you know, and take what resonates. But that being said, I don't know. It's been a really interesting journey, not just, for the purpose of, me awakening, but like just kind of outwardly when I zoom out and look at everything, from like the furthest zoomed out perspective, right? It's really kind of almost astounding to see how my outer world, or should I say like the people, of my outer world, how relationships have shifted since I started this process, or how relationships have ended, or what relationships have begun. It's like a whole thing. And honestly, like when I started going through the whole spiritual awakening process, I honestly didn't know like what I was in for. I didn't know what I had signed up. I didn't know really what I had signed up for, and I really had no kind of prior knowledge to what to expect or what I was going to go through. Which is probably kind of the case for most of us. Like usually when you get on the spiritual awakening path, it's never really because of some shit that you just voluntarily woke up and said like, hey, I'm gonna be on the spiritual path today. I feel like I've said this before or talked about this before, as to why it's very irritating to me a lot of times when I see, this whole like spirituality thing becoming like a trend, the whole trendy, like, oh, I'm spiritualist, like, oh, you know what I'm talking about, because it's not, you don't just wake up one day and you're like, I'm gonna have a spiritual awakening. I'm gonna be on the spiritual path today. Like, no, you get thrown into spiritual awakening through some less than desirable shit that no one ever really wants to go through. And then it's like a spiraling, chaotic roller coaster ride of uncertainty and craziness, from that point forward. Like, it's not, you don't plan it. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a, just wake up one day and decide, oh, today's the day. So, I don't know, it's a little irksome to me when people just feel like, oh, I'm about to hop on this train today. Cause it's not, that's not what it's about. So that being the case, again, a lot of us don't really have any prior knowledge, or any like prep time, like pre-research prior to getting thrown onto this path. So that's why I hope that by me kind of talking about my experiences and the things that I've gone through thus far, I hope can bring, a little bit of kind of help and guidance, and give you guys kind of like a little bit of some insight just to have something to relate to as you go through this journey. Mainly I wanted to talk about and highlight the things that have been particularly difficult for me, because again, like I said, it would have been great for me to get the heads up. It would have been great for me to get the heads up on all the things that I'm going to talk about to you guys myself. But again, I didn't have it, so hopefully I can, be that for you. The next thing that I have experienced thus far on here is the I would call it kind of like the purge of relationships and friendships that occurs, again, kind of like as a side effect of you awakening and kind of like realizing your worth, realizing where you have been just like hemorrhaging your energy outwardly to people, places, and things that really don't deserve access to it, to your energy, to you, all the things. That one's a rough one. It's rough. It's really rough. And I want to be 1,000% transparent on that. It is rough because it's, I felt like it was kind of like, like in, what is it? The Christmas story thing. What is it? Where Ghost of Christmas Past, like where he takes them and, kind of like has a look, an outside perspective view of how people think of him, think of Scrooge, you know what I'm saying? And he's like hearing all these people talk shit about him. Like, this is what happened with me. Again, I'm just speaking from my own experience. Like, not everybody's going to have the exact same experience, but it was like I had this one night where it was like my spirit squad gave me this very zoomed out perspective and look, and it was like this this map of all these people, places, things that were attached to me, like me in the center and then a bunch of lines going out everywhere, right? And then zooming in on each of these lines coming out of me and seeing, the people that are attached to it, and seeing exactly how these people felt about me and their purpose of being attached to me. And it was rough. It was rough because these were people that I would lay my life down on the line for. And these people didn't give a shit about me. Point blank period. These people didn't give a shit about me. And it sucks. It really does. It sucks to have to see, have to acknowledge, have to accept. But you also have to then ask yourself, like, so what are you going to do with the information that you've just been given? Are you going to just be in denial about what you have been told or informed on, or you're going to take your power back, take your energy back, and stop giving to people, places, and things that are not reciprocating, are not valuing you, are not giving back to you, are not prioritizing you, are not respecting you, are not, loving you. And ultimately, it comes down to just that. And after you make the decision, which hopefully you make the decision of being like, yeah, hell nah, because otherwise it's kind of self-sabotaging. But after you make the decision to be like, yeah, like I can't have this, you then are tasked with the requirement of doing kind of energetic inventory, and then kind of repoing your energy, just going down the list, going down the line, and being like, all right, gonna have to cut this off, because more than likely at this point, the reason why you're going to have this epiphany, you're going to have this like moment of realization along this path, along this journey at some point, is because more than likely 9 times out of 10, you are exhausted, you are drained, you're like completely depleted of your energy, of your love, of your drive, of your flame, of your passion. You're mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually exhausted, and have been pushing yourself and pushing yourself and pushing yourself and pushing yourself beyond, really like way beyond your limits, for the sake of people who were not reciprocating, who didn't value you, and really would not do and have not been doing the same for you up to this point. And honestly, for me, that was the most frustrating thing about everything, because I give so freely. I'm very selfless, and I would do and have done a lot for people without asking for anything in return, because that's just me. But then again, having to be kind of sat down and given like the hard facts, like, hey, listen, I know this is just how you are, but understand that takers don't have any limits. And so if you continue to just be outwardly pouring out and giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing to these people, you're going to always be depleted and on E, while they are constantly, thriving and living their best life at your expense. And point blank, period. That's just it. And it sucks. It really does. It sucks. It sucks to come to that realization, and it sucks to understand just how much you have been doing and how much you have been giving for however amount of time to people, places, and things who were not ever really I don't want to say worthy, because but who didn't, have not, were not reciprocating or appreciative or grateful for you, for the amount of time that they've had you, had access to you, or you were in your life, or that you were doing things for them. And so yeah, you got to cut that shit off, and you have to then take your power back and your focus back and shift it back to yourself, so that you can begin to heal, so that you can begin to nurture yourself and kind of dig yourself out of the pit, the rut that you have been in or are in, because you're on burnout, because you've been overly exhausting yourself in your energy and your resources and your time and energy, to 1,001 different places and people, and not getting it back. So that's a really big deal, and that's a really big step, and it's really important that you really take a look, take inventory of where your energy is going. Where are you being depleted? Where are you not having equal give and take? Where is your energy and efforts not being reciprocated at? Really write it down, or whatever it is that you have to do. Either if you can just make a mental note of it, that's fine. If you need to put it physically, write it physically somewhere, do that. But by all means, it's very necessary for you to take an inventory of where you are hemorrhaging your energy at. Where are you being drained at? Because you gotta stop. You have got to take that energy back and put it back into yourself. Love yourself extra, and care for yourself, nurture yourself extra, and all that was going outward to other people, places, and things. You now need to put it back into yourself, into you, because literally, like, if you're not well, you can't help anybody. You can't do anything if you don't have yourself together, and that's the facts. But even with that being the facts, like, know that again, it's gonna piss some people off, because again, that they're used to getting their needs met, or their daily fix of like your energy, and like when they don't get it, it's kind of like they go into withdrawals. And like I said, it's not like a pleasant thing for them to go through, to experience. But neither is you being on burnout and having like no energy to do anything for yourself. So honestly, it's you or them. And I hate to have to put it in such like black and white context, because nothing is hardly ever really black and white, but that's what it comes down to. So like, either you're going to continuously allow others to keep you in a state of depletion, or you're going to repo your energy and put it back into you so that you can revive yourself and thrive. And that's what it comes down to, honestly. So really, really, really take a good look at your life, at yourself, and where your energy is being depleted and drained. Where is it going out to? And start cutting some shit off and repoing your energy, so that you can begin to heal and continue on your path of ascension. You have to do it for you, regardless of, the outwardly nonsense that may come as a repercussion of it. This is about you. Again, if you're not good, then you can't be of any good to the world or to anybody else. You need to focus on you. You need to love on you. You need to pour into yourself. And then only when your cup is runneth over do you pour from it to others. All right. I love you guys.
Really, I would love for that to have been the case, but no. Thus far, everything that I internally, mentally convinced myself could not be real, could not be happening, could not should not, is not occurring, happening, like, oh, they wouldn't do me like that. Oh, this isn't a way that could possibly happen, not here, not on Earth, not in America, that mentality has really just kind of really like fucked me in the end. Really. And more so than anybody else on the outside externally has hurt me, I have hurt myself, simply because I didn't listen to myself. And that's all facts, no cap, period. That's it. And that's one of the biggest 1, 2, 3. That's one of the biggest lessons that I want to tell you guys and relay to you, of importance, is that you have to take accountability for your actions, for your life, for how things are turning out, and all the things in life. Because while we cannot control like a lot of things that happen external to us, we can, however, control a large part of what occurs within ourselves. And we can control our thoughts and how we feel, and that's it. And so that being the case, it has been very necessary for me to retract into myself, and take a good look at myself, my life, my past actions, my current situation, and start asking the really hard questions. Why am I the way that I am? Why has this occurred? What's going on? What am I feeling? What am I going through? Why am I doing this? Why have I done, these things? Why do I do the things that I do? Why do I act the way that I act? And a lot of times we don't want to ask these questions because of exactly, literally, it's almost like I'm creating the cheat book, like giving you, like in high school, you got a big test that you failed to acknowledge that you even had coming up, or you knew, and you just absolutely just kind of like effed around and didn't study, didn't do the homework, whatever the case may be. You're unprepared for it, and so now you're like trying to bribe the smart kid in class, like, hey, let me get them notes. Y'all got them cheat anybody, y'all got the answers, what's up? It's almost as if what I'm going through or have gone through, what I'm talking to you guys about right now, it is very much kind of like giving you all the cheat code, the cheat book, the study guide for your lives, and to navigate through the bullshit we have currently going on Earth. And navigate through the illusions and onto, the bridge to New Earth, right? Because I have gone through this, I have gone through the hard shit for you so that hopefully you guys can take what I'm saying, what I've gone through, been through, and be like, ooh, yeah, let me go ahead and do this so that I don't know, I don't end up like Zayva. I don't want to do what V has gone through, and really that's the whole purpose and point of my doing this. I know not many people are going to see it or listen to it. I mean, that's fine. It's not really about that. Again, I'm always in the future, so I'm always ahead of my time. The things I do, say, and create are always ahead of my time and not usually accepted or understood or appreciated when I am creating it. However, it is of value and use for the future most of the time. So anyways, just know that a lot of us avoid going within and asking ourselves, who am I? And all the hard questions and really knowing themselves and taking accountability for themselves is because when you start doing that, you, number one, realize how much bullshit you have been going through and allowing. That's the part. Like, let me say it again. How much you've been allowing. And that's the thing that really kind of, at least again, speaking from personal experience, that's the thing, my biggest thing that really kind of like fucked me up is like damn, like I'm used to, I don't know, like I'm used to humans are mean. That's just it. People are mean. I'm used to others external to me treating me badly, but then like when you realize that like you have been kind of the meanest to yourself, it's like, ooh, don't like that. But again, we're I don't want to say we're all here to heal, because we're that's not true. We didn't all sign up to awaken and enlighten and to grow and embark upon this particular journey. So but those who did, doing shadow work is a necessity of this journey. And that shadow is because you gotta go within. You gotta go within yourself and sit with the darkness, your darkness, and slay those demons, slay your own demons, slay your own mind, conquer your own beast, and it's a tall task. I'm not gonna lie. It's something that I have had to do, and I am still doing. I am both teacher and student this lifetime. In one of my missions, I'm doing multiple missions in a very short amount of time this lifetime. And I would say that this has been definitely the most difficult part, is because Virgo perfectionism, I'm a Virgo sun, so like my Virgo perfectionism doesn't want me to do things until I have absolutely perfected it, mastered it, because otherwise it makes me feel like I'm being hypocritical to be going out and trying to instruct and guide others when I have not perfected or mastered or understood whatever the challenge is, or the objective task at hand, whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't have that I don't have that luxury this time, and so it's weird for me to kind of still be like of the darkness and some rough some rough shit, and myself, but then also being very loudly screamed at by my by my ancestors, my squad, and source, repetitively, like, just do the work, just go out there and speak, you're supposed to be, you don't have to have it all, like, learn as you go, we don't have time for this. And I understand it, but again, it's like, I don't know, it kind of gives me the grimy feeling, because I am very transparent. I'm very authentic with you guys, regardless of what rumor mills are being spread like a high school wildfire right now about me, and who I am, or who people think I am. I am very authentic and transparent. So that being the case, I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Really, like, I'm not a professional in this. I'm not a professional in this, like, by Earth's standards. Like, I didn't go to college. I don't have like $100,000 in student loan debt and a certificate that validates me by Earth standards to be doing what I'm doing. And I think that in itself really kind of pisses people off. That's on you. Sorry. But that's also something that I'm kind of like working through right now, is, again, by Earth standards, I'm having to work through feeling as if, like, I don't know if this is what I should be doing. I don't have the piece of paper that qualifies me to be doing. It sounds stupid to say it out loud, really. Again, if you know, you know. But it sounds stupid to be saying it out loud. Because I've been doing this for lifetimes. Like, this is who I am. I'm really, truly, authentically. It's one of my many gifts, is speaking and leading and healing, alchemizing. And I'm trying to kind of merge worlds, timelines, and selves into one right now, for the benefit of the greater good of humanity and New Earth, by healing myself in this current situation, because what I do reflects and ripples outward into the world and the universe. And I have really been kind of just like struggling with that, like, mentally being able to come to you guys right now and do what I'm doing right now, because, like, I already know how it, number one, how I'm being portrayed as is, but I've already, like, worked through that. I accepted that and let that shit burn a long time ago. I really don't give a shit. Honestly, I don't care what anybody thinks of me externally, because I have just come from the place of having to slay the biggest beast ever. And it wasn't external. It was inside my mind. So, like, there's nothing, absolutely nothing anyone can say or do about me on the external that will ever even, like, make a ding as to how I have been to myself. So again, it just really kind of also ties into the fact of why a lot of people don't want to do the shadow work. They don't want to embark upon this journey, because none of the shit that I have just said sounds like a good time. Like, this doesn't sound like a good time at all. It's that being the case is just a prime example of why people don't want to take accountability. People don't want to go within. People don't want to ask the hard-hitting questions. Why am I the way that I am? Because the common denominator typically ends up being because you have kind of like fucked yourself in some way. That's facts. But it's really, really important to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you will allow this planet to tell you who you are, how to act, how to be, what's acceptable, what's right, what's wrong, what's for you, what isn't for you, what you're meant to be doing, what your life purpose is, who you're meant to be with, what kind of house you're meant to live in, what kind of lifestyle you're meant to live, what kind of standards you're meant to stay at or above. What the requirements are for you to be accepted within societal communities, within religious communities, and it's a lot that comes along with not knowing who you are on this planet. That's just the point. So again, I feel like I'm kind of saving you guys a lot of trouble by just going ahead and giving you kind of the nitty-gritty of what it is as a whole, but for real, if you don't know who you are, this world will absolutely see that and run you into the ground and strip every little piece of individuality and uniqueness and light that you have within you and about you out of you in a heartbeat and leave you for dead. Speaking from experience. So it's really important to know who you are, because if you do not, it will backfire. And if you are here and you're listening to this and you're relating to this, more than likely you have already been called and thrown into the awakening journey and process, and you are already experiencing kind of the repercussions of not listening to Mommy and Daddy Universe, especially when Pluto and Saturn made their appearance this year. Ooh boy, let me tell you, it's what happens when justice, karma, and the universe come together as like one opposing force. And it's like that single black mom who told you to take the chicken out and clean the house. Here's the list of chores and shit that you had to do, and all that better be done before they get off from work. And you did nothing. You didn't do anything that you were told to do by your mom before she left for work and before you left for school. And you just been at home like watching cartoons. And now phone rings and your mom's like on the way home like earlier than expected, and you have done nothing. The chicken is still in the freezer, frozen. You got shit everywhere in the house, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you had a wild party. They broke your mom's vase, and they got like muddy footprints all over. There's the couch is dirty. Like, this ultimate destruction has unfolded while your parents were gone. Now they're coming home like a lot earlier than expected, and your ass is grass. Like, there's no way around it. But yet, and still, people are still like, you're still in the state of panic, rolling around. Oh my God, what do I do? Oh my God, what do I do? Oh my God, oh my God. But now they've like done busted through the door and seen the disaster that you have left their house in, and you getting your ass whooped. You are getting your ass whooped. And that's the state that a lot of y'all are in right now. You're getting that ass whooped. That's part of it. Some people call it a tower moment, but like this is more than just your typical tower moment. Usually, you can like ride the tower moment out pretty decently. Like this is like you you were in like a deep sleep, and they somebody busted in. It's like somebody busted in, kicked your door down, and like ransacked your house, came in your bedroom and like flipped you off the mattress, threw ice cold water on you. You were in like a deep sleep. It's really kind of how the energy is feeling to me for like a large percentage of this planet right now. Like Earth is in despair. Earth is in total chaos because again, Mommy and Daddy Universe came back earlier than expected and seen the utter destruction, corruption, and calamity that has been unfolding on the planet while they were away, and they were like, what is this? What's happened? What is going on here? And it's just all bad. It's bad times for a lot of people. And so anybody else that is very sensitive to energies, y'all have been feeling it also. And absolutely, this is why, like, let me give you kind of like the broader perspective, share a glimpse, give you a little more understanding as to why it's just total chaos right now. That's it. Mommy and Daddy Universe came back earlier than expected and found complete destruction and disaster unfolding. And now we're in like rush, clean out and total overhaul mode. That's why it feels kind of like just like a sudden storm. What is it? Like a flash flood, and hurricane, and tornado and volcano all at once. It was sunny one moment, and then now all of a sudden a storm. Because it's this very sudden clean out energy that's happening. So we can get things kind of like back on track and bring balance and harmony back to the planet, because Mother Earth, we struggling. Mother Earth is struggling out here. The odd thing about it though is, even though I feel like people who have been like ignoring their calling, or like ignoring doing the work or embarking on the spiritual path for whatever reason, like I guess because it goes against the societal norms or family accepted, I don't know, path, purpose, whatever. Even though like it's very clear, like, hey, this is going on simply because you're not living right, or you're like not doing what you're supposed to be doing right now. You're not living your destined purpose. Some people like are just dead set on trying to swim against the current, and it's resistance is futile. I just want to put it out there, like, spoiler alert, resistance is very futile. Again, you don't tell the Yeah, you don't tell the universe no. You don't tell God no. You absolutely get an ass whooping for doing that. And I think it's unnecessary, really. Like, it's unnecessary sometimes for us to go through some things. But you know, we have free will, and that is the beauty of it, is that we do absolutely have free will. However, the universe will still make it very difficult. Kind of to get you to the point of being like, well, we got only one option left here. You know, but even still, like, I think there's some people that are like determined to kind of like, you know, gonna go down with the ship, and like, that's unfortunate. That sucks. That sucks. But that's on them. And, you know, you cannot force, and you should not force somebody to change, to make a change, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So if you're hearing this and you're like, this seems to be hitting home for me. If you absolutely are being called to take your life in a new direction, like, say you're a banker, you know, or a really successful accountant or whatever, but now you're being called to start doing, I don't know, like tarot readings or something. You know, like, I get it, because it is you gonna get some looks. You know, people are gonna talk shit. People are gonna be questioning your mentality, all the things. I get it. I know. I've been there. I've gone through it. Am currently experiencing it. But such is life. If you're called, you're called, and that's just it. However, you got to do the work. So, for whatever reason, there's also a really big problem with people just wanting instant gratification, like, on everything, like absolutely everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a garden, you don't go out and put the seeds in at 1:00 and then at 1:15 come out and be like, "Where's my tomatoes?" Like, that's not how that works. You know, you don't plant a tomato, you know, a vegetable garden, and with the expectance of harvesting like an hour later or the next day, to be able to eat and make a salad. You know, if you're trying to make a salad, like, you're gonna have to go to the store and get your vegetables, because, you know, the garden ain't gonna be ready to provide the vegetables that you need for your salad in that short amount of time. But for whatever reason, this is the expectations that the people of Earth have on essentially kind of pretty much everything. And I don't know why that is, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I would love for a lot of things that I have experienced to have not taken as long as they have taken or are taking. But again, such is life. I can't do anything about it. You know, and that's another thing that Source wants me to talk about, is surrendering, and exactly what surrendering means in its entirety, versus what I think a lot of people think surrendering means, and that's not. It ain't it. whatever you think you know, let me just put it out here now. Whatever you think scrap everything you think you know, because we've all been played and fed lies here on Earth. We've all been played. So really, scrap everything you think you know about yourself and about others and about life as we know it. because I can absolutely assure you that even if it's just by listening to this podcast, this particular segment of my channel, you're going to learn some things. And even if you don't learn anything, and even if you don't consciously accept it, your subconscious is already taking the things that I'm saying right now, analyzing and finding the truths within it, and it is actually activating your higher self, your higher mind, and it will trigger you in one way or the other. Whether you get pissed off about it, you're angry, you want to hop in my comments and be like, you lying ho, you don't know anything, you crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. But understand that I'm triggering you because it's my authenticity triggering the fact that your higher self, your subconscious knows that you have not been living authentically or your true soul's purpose. We've all been there. And that's the thing, is when you have suffered as much as I have, you get to the point of understanding. I think people thought that my unconditional love for this world, not even just this world, like any world, again, if you know, you know, but I think they thought that my unconditional love was going to be kind of my downfall, my biggest weakness. And I mean, like, to a certain extent, but only because, like, I didn't know myself. And that was it. So, but nay, like everything that I've gone through, while painful, while grimy, while very shitty, it's been absolute clown shoes. My life has been absolute clown shoes, to the highest degree, like some like grade A, top tier, next level fuckery. But it did not do what I think everyone was expecting it to do. Like, it definitely broke me, but like I alchemized that shit, and it broke me, and I came together like one of those ancient, you know, Chinese works of art, pottery. You know, I got put back together with like pure gold and the rarest of diamonds, and, you know, unknown minerals and things of that nature. And out of my pain and suffering, I just have even more kind of a love and understanding for others, in a sense of like, I don't want others to experience, you know, the pain and suffering, injustice, negligence, abuse, and like just neglect and you know, that I have had to endure. So I am very understanding at this point, and I have been given a very, very rare kind of, it's a blessing, but also I would say like kind of 5% a curse, kind of 5% a curse, because it sucks. You know, they say like it's lonely at the top, and like I've been given the highest vantage point of seeing things to understand. So again, if the things that I say, or just simply my mere existence, just looking at me, triggers you into wanting to hate me or lash out at me, like, I understand, because I was that person, and I understand where it's coming from, and I do very sincerely hope that you do heal from whatever is causing you the pain that you are feeling and suffering through right now. And you're not alone, regardless how much you think someone might not get you or understand you. You're not alone, and I do get you, because I have been that. That version of me is still within me. So it's all love over here, regardless. It's all love. And I'm going to leave this episode here and start putting it together. And then I'm going to record, pick up where I left off and start talking about surrendering and all the things included in that. Sorry, I'm trying to write it down before I forget. I'm ADD. But I have nothing but love over here for my enemies, for my ops, for those who wish my demise and downfall, those who attack me spiritually or otherwise. It's all love over here, and I do very much hope that at some point in time you reach a point of healing and inner peace and calm, and you're able to see the truth. I'm not anybody's enemy, really, and I'm sorry to those that I have hurt while I was hurting and while I didn't know who I was. But again, understand that we have all been played. All of us. We do have a common enemy, all of us. If you want to call it a common enemy, it's a common enemy. Yeah, I was gonna try, but yeah, no, it's a common enemy. It's just an enemy because it's some foul shit. Anybody wanting this level of like greed and control over an entire planet is insane. Really, that's it. That's an enemy. That's neither here nor there. The point of it is, it's not me. It's not me, really. I just wanted to be kind of like left alone. But we all get called into positions, into doing things that we didn't necessarily expect. So really, I'm sorry for who I was while I didn't know who I was. And I'm sorry for the mistakes that I've made and anybody that I have negatively affected or anybody's lives that I've negatively affected. Do understand that I have paid dearly for my mistakes, but they were all lessons that we all signed up to learn and go through this lifetime. It's called karmic debt for a reason, and I have paid my karmic debt, whether you think so or not, but I'm not the enemy. I do, however, take accountability and responsibility for anything in the past, but I'm not that version and that person any longer. I'm not. And it's not for me to try to convince you or anybody else otherwise of that, but I hope you all heal and get to the point of healing where I'm at and seeing clearly and seeing the truth of the matter of things that I am currently at right now, because the truth will absolutely set you free. Hate to get biblical, but this is the first time that I have felt free in a while. So I hope this can be the start of something really beautiful. And I hope it can be therapeutic and healing for not just myself, but for others. Anybody who listens to this, friend or foe. So I'm going to love you guys and say thank you for your support, for your patience with me, for being V Squad, for being soul family, and for even those who have been karmic and who have hurt me, because I needed that. I needed all this to get to where I'm at. So thank you all for all you've done and all that you are. I'll see y'all in the others, and I'll see you next episode. I love you all. V Squad.